Welcome. I am Eric Unfiltered. Here I discuss news, politics, and whatever else I find interesting, along with my very colorful, unfiltered commentary. If you would like to follow me on social media, I am on X at Eric Not Sorry, and on Truth or Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I hope you enjoy. Now let's get on with the show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you had a wonderful week. As for me, right now, per usual, I am caffeinated, medicated, and never regulated, so let's freaking go! Oh, I'm gonna get loud on this episode today because I have some shit to say. So, the first story I wanted to talk about was here in Connecticut. I went to Grok AI, and I'm going to read a synopsis, and then I'm going to get into it. And some of you may like what I have to say, and some of you may not. But at the end of the day, I really don't give a shit. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and this one is mine. So the big story in Connecticut this past week was regarding a verdict regarding Raul Valley. I think that's how you say his last name. Per the synopsis of Grok, a 20-year-old from Connecticut was found not guilty of murder and intentional manslaughter in the 2022 stabbing death of 17-year-old James Jimmy McGrath, a Fairfield Prep lacrosse player, at a house party in Shelton, Connecticut. The jury also acquitted Valley of first and second degree intentional assault charges related to injuries of 3 other teens. That's right, he stabbed 4 people. However, the jury deadlocked on lesser charges of reckless manslaughter and reckless assault, leading to a mistrial on those counts. Valley, who was 16 at the time of the incident, claimed self-defense, testifying that he was attacked by a group and swung a knife to protect himself. The case may be retried on the deadlocked charges. Now, what was left out of that synopsis was apparently there was a house party where there was 2, I guess, air quotes, rival groups. You remember high school days. There was always groups of people that just didn't like other groups of people. And apparently, a scuffle or what have you broke out. Words were exchanged, whatever. And Raul Valley and some of his friends, I guess they left. And if I'm wrong on this, please correct me, because again, I'm just going off of memory from what I've absorbed this past week. But they wound up going back to that house party. And I guess a friend of his, apparently, allegedly, was the one who had the knife to begin with. And then he gave it to Mr. Valley to hold on to this kind of thing, which should have been a red fucking flag, in my opinion. First of all, you already had issues with people at this party, and then you left, which was the right decision to make. You don't want shit to explode, you leave. Okay, good. But then they did the stupid decision of going back. Probably because of bruised ego and pride, and too much testicular fortitude, because we all know how young men can be. But especially in today's climate, it's, oh, you disrespected me, so I'm going to have to get back at you kind of bullshit. That macho bravado bullshit. I'm not going to say, that's toxic masculine. No, that's just young men being stupid young men. So they went back. Obviously, they knew they were looking for trouble. Obviously. Why else would you go back? They were, like I said, they probably were going to go save face because somebody, disrespected them and, all that stupid shit. Now, why would you bring a knife then? Why would you bring a knife? For defense? Then don't go fucking back, moron. Don't go back. Now, there is videos you can see online of the scuffle, the incident, whatever you want to call it. And I did see some people post comments on social media that I do agree with, because this individual, Raul Valley, he was tried on charges, but what happened about everybody else? Because it wasn't just one person involved with this. You can see other people flailing their fists about and kicking people on the ground, just having a good old melee. Well, what about them? Why aren't they getting charged? Why? Did they turn state's evidence or some shit? Okay. Bullshit, in my opinion. I mean, everybody involved, I don't give a damn. You got video evidence, charge all of them. I don't care if it's for assault, breach of peace, I don't care. I don't care. But apparently that's not happening, or at least not as of yet. But the charges, again, as I read, it was basically like the charges were he intentionally did this action. I disagree with what the charges were. I can't believe he was found not guilty overall, at least on the lesser charges. But again, it's the word for me, intentional, that stands out. Because like many of you, I know many people were shocked and were like, what the fuck? Why? What? How is he not guilty? Again, that's the word I focused on, is intentional. So if he was charged with involuntary manslaughter, I think that is a more accurate charge. So, not intentional, unintentional, all right? He didn't, in my mind, in my opinion, he didn't plan on going there to stab someone, nor maybe his friend did, which is why he brought a knife. Again, I don't know. But I don't think he intentionally went back to the party to stab someone. I think, in my opinion, it was involuntary manslaughter. So I think he should have been charged with that. But again, I'm not a litigator. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an asshole with a microphone. What the fuck do I know? So, yeah, the fact that he was found not guilty, it does chafe my ass a bit. However, again, that charge of intentional, it's like, was it really intentional? I don't know. But again, I think involuntary manslaughter should have been the charge. I think that would have stuck, in my opinion. And during the trial, near the end, the defense called Raul Valley to the stand. And I saw the media saying, and he was brought to tears. Really? Did any of you see the video clip of him brought to tears? Oh, please. Brought to tears was when I watched, Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, that's a blast from the past, right? Kind of. When he was on the stand, he genuinely cried tears. Now, I don't give a damn if you like the kid or you don't, or what. I don't care. When Kyle Rittenhouse was on the stand, he genuinely cried tears. People mocked him for it. What this kid did? Oh, crocodile tears at fucking best. Please, give me a break. I didn't believe that for a second. But if I was on the jury, I would sit there and I would have to also say not guilty on the intentional charges. Because, again, I don't think he went there intentionally to stab someone. Yes, he intentionally went there to start some shit. Him and his buddies. Absolutely. As I already said, to save face, bruised egos, all that bullshit. So, but again, was it intentional? Did he intend to go? Did he intend to go there and stab somebody? No, I don't think so. Now, flailing a knife around because you're being attacked, that's fucking dangerous because, well, we all saw what happened. People got stabbed and someone died. It happens, unfortunately, and I feel bad for the family of those that got hurt, and I feel really bad for the family that lost a loved one over, honestly, probably something really fucking dumb, as it typically is. Almost always it's something dumb when, a fracas, or whatever it's called, it happens. It's usually over something dumb. Somebody calls somebody a name, you hurt my ego, you disrespected me, and now I got to get even. So the fact that he was found not guilty still, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth personally. But I think the charges that he had against him were stupid. I think it should have been involuntary manslaughter. Now, somebody out there would want to disagree with me, and that's fine. As I said in the beginning, you are entitled to your opinion, although I don't really care what it is. That's just me. But that's that story, in my opinion, in a nutshell. He fucked up. He fucked around, and he found out, but he's not going to jail, at least not yet. Hopefully all that were involved will fucking learn from this and grow up a little bit and stop acting like childish little twats. But I don't see that happening. Because in society nowadays, it's all about ego, it's all about pride, it's all about respect. And that's why you see so much stupid bullshit and violence and people getting shot and stabbed up for literally over fucking nothing. Nothing of importance and nothing of value. So I think I'll wrap that segment up right there. What do you think? How did that verdict sit with you? Do you agree with me that he should have been charged with involuntary manslaughter? Or do you have another opinion? I mean, as I already said, your opinion's your opinion, but I'm curious. I'm just curious. All right, on to the next topic. All right, the other big topic that happened this past week in the United States was the Texas floods. Tragically, over 100 and some odd people have lost their lives in a huge flood that happened in Texas. If you have been living under a rock, then turn on the news and look it up. There was a camp called, was it Camp Mystic, which I believe was a Christian type camp. Campers lost their lives. The person that owned and operated that camp lost their life. There was a river, I don't recall the name of it, I apologize, but it rose something like 24 feet in like 25 minutes or some shit like that. Bro, insane amount of water and destruction and devastation. And I know some people out there on the interwebs are talking about, well, this is weather manipulation because now there was a big flood that happened in New Mexico, and then what areas of Chicago, I think, something like that. And I'm not going down that. I'm not putting my tinfoil hat on for that. Not today. I'm not saying it isn't possible, but I'm not doing that today. My heart goes out to everybody that lost their lives, all the families. I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of families that are devastated. And even those people that did not lose a loved one, they lost something. Their cars, their house, hell, maybe even where they worked. They're out of work now because the company is literally underwater or is going to take a long time to get cleaned up. So my heart goes out to them. But I didn't want to just talk about this topic because of the loss of life and the devastation. The reason why I wanted to talk about this topic was because of the fucking bullshit I am seeing on social media written about this. There are people, I use that term fucking loosely. There are people out there posting comments on social media. Keep in mind, folks, the internet is forever. But there are people out there posting that this was a good thing, that white people died, so that's a good thing. There was a pediatrician, a woman, who apparently is supposed to help children and help heal them and so on and so forth, posted on social media that they voted for Trump, this is what they get, or something of the sorts. Thankfully, that cunt lost her job. But the problem is she had that thought. And she's not alone. I have seen a lot of people. Now, granted, some of them may be bots, right? There may be bots that are just doing it to amp up people like me. But it's not 100%. There are people posting shit like that on social media to, one, make a tragedy like this political. Fuck you. You're a piece of fucking shit. I don't care if the parents of those young girls voted Democrat or Republican or didn't vote at all. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry, their kid's dead. That fucking sucks. That's terrible. But to go on social media and to bring race or politics into this, go fuck yourself with a cactus, you piece of shit. You're a cunt. I wish your mom had better accuracy with the coat hanger, if you catch my fucking drift. Because if that's how you think and you believe, you're goddamn garbage. To post on social media that you're glad people are dead because of how that district voted, or making an assumption over how... What the fuck is wrong with you? We all know cities across America are primarily blue. Most cities are Democrat-ran, and that's just it. They vote blue no matter who. But when Hurricane Katrina happened, and New Orleans was underwater, I did not sit at home and laugh and go, that's what you get for constantly voting for Democrat, because that would have made me a fucking asshole. And my friends would have told me that to my face. I was like, wow, that's fucking sad. That's fucking tragic. I'm glad it didn't happen here, I never once thought that. But then again, I guess I'm just fucking different. I guess I was raised differently. I don't know. But yes, folks, there are people out there posting on social media, and I'm sure in their little groups and their group texts are saying the same thing. If you know somebody that is talking like that, you should do one thing. Stop hanging around with them. Don't assault them. You don't need to kick them in the nutsack or punch them in the boobie. Just say, you're a fucking piece of crap. Lose my number. Don't call me. Don't contact me. Just fuck off. Because you don't need people like that in your life. People like that need to be excommunicado. I can't believe that people are doing that. I mean, actually, yes, I do believe. Because I've seen it through the years. I mean, when Nancy Reagan died, I remember there was a comedian, I use that term loosely, that posted on X, or at the time Twitter, it was something like, ding dong, the cunt is dead. Like, really, dude? Really? I hope you never get work again. But this is what happens. We are so polarized in this country. Everybody has the right to their opinion on who to vote for, who not to vote for, what policies are important to them. That is fine. I don't have a problem with that. The topics and policies that matter most to me may not be on the top of your list. Perhaps they are. Perhaps they're nowhere in the vicinity. That's fine. But when a national tragedy where people die, whether it's from an earthquake, an explosion, floods, hurricane, whatever, and your first thought is, good, fuck them because they voted for... Really? Fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you hard. You're fucking trash. I think I'm going to wrap up that segment on that. I can't fucking believe that. And I know if I ever caught any of my friends talking like that, I would just go, eat shit. You're a piece of crap. Don't fucking talk to me again. Fuck you. If I catch you around my house, I'll have you arrested. Fuck off. All right. Moving on to the next topic. All right. This next topic has come up because it involves immigration. Now, if you are a first-time listener, first off, thank you for tuning in. I hope you've made it this far. Hopefully. If not, well, see ya. So, if you have not been living under a rock, you are fully aware that the Trump administration, words are hard, has been cracking down on illegals. I voted for this. I love it. If you're here illegally, get the fuck out. I don't care if, you're a gangbanger or I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care. Pack your bags, get the fuck out. That's my opinion. And, of course, there are people out there that disagree with me. Shocker, right? Okay. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. However, we have also seen the riots. Oh, they're protests. Yeah, fiery, but mostly peaceful. Right. And the attacks on law enforcement, per the usual, because that's all the political left knows what to do. They're a bunch of whiny little babies. They're the trophy generation. They have never heard the word no. And now that someone is in the position to enforce the law, they don't like it. They don't like it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Now, because it was ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, is doing their job, people are crying. They don't want them in their cities like Mayor Bass of Los Angeles because she's doing a bang-up job of L.A. Fucking cesspool shithole that city is. It used to be nice from what I've heard. I've never been that far west and don't plan on it. But I've heard Los Angeles used to be a pretty nice city, and, that has clearly declined in recent years, and Governor Newsom certainly is not helping the state at all. But people are now getting violent. Yes, more violent. And I know some of you have seen videos maybe on social media of individuals throwing rocks and concrete blocks and bricks and stuff at law enforcement. However, this past week, there was a few pieces of shit that literally ambushed law enforcement, clearly in protest of them doing their jobs to get illegals out of America. Now, these people are just doing their jobs. If you disagree, that's fine. Make your voice heard at the polling stations. That's how this country works. But there are some cunts out there that it's not good enough. They want to murder people because they're doing their job. Over 65% of Americans support the deportations. That's quite a bit. Donald Trump not only won due to the Electoral College, he also won the popular vote. So nobody can cry about, well, they can, but I'm not listening. I don't care. He won across the board. I don't care how close it was. He won across the board. So that means the vast majority of Americans support this. That's what they wanted this. Get rid of the illegals. Now, I personally am not a fan of his backtracking lately, but it is what it is. But there are people that this past week, I forget exactly where to, you know what? Let me look it up real quick. Ah, yes, here it is. Okay, so this is on ice.gov/news/ a bunch of other stuff, but you can look it up for yourself. But the headline, this is from July 8th, 2025. 10 suspects, 10, were charged in July 4th attack on Texas ICE detention facility. Nearly a dozen violent assailants equipped with tactical gear and weapons attacked United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Prairieland Detention Facility in Alvarado, Texas on July 4th, shooting a local law enforcement officer in the process. The officer is expected to recover. The attack, which occurred just days before an armed activist shot at U.S. Border Patrol official in McClellan, Texas, was coordinated to vandalize the facility and disrupt operations there. Yes, 2 I believe there is a total of 3 this past week, but right then and there, right there, what I read you was a case of 2 violent attacks, not bricks, not rocks, real lead bullets fired from real guns. Now, I'm a big 2A guy, definitely a big 2A guy, and none of this makes me sway. However, it just goes to show what the left is capable of. They're not getting their way. They don't like what law enforcement is doing, so they're just going to go right to violence, straight to violence, deadly violence. Luckily, no law enforcement officer was murdered, thankfully. But the possibility was definitely there because they were fucking shooting at them. These people are enforcing the law, whether you like it or not. Kind of like if you speed and you get a ticket, well, you don't have to be happy about it, but that's the officer's choice. You were speeding. If they decide to give you a warning and send you on your way, then you breathe a sigh of relief that you don't have to go home and tell your wife about it. But people are picking up guns and using them against law enforcement over immigration. They don't want all these people being deported. Well, too bad. But that's what the left is doing in this country. That's why on previous episodes I have said if you are a Democrat, if you consider yourself a Democrat, that's fine. I don't hate you. We definitely will disagree on things, but I don't hate you. But I just want to tell you that these people claim to be Democrats because clearly they're not Republicans. They didn't vote for Trump, okay? Clearly they did not. So disassociate yourself from them. There are a lot of people I know that used to be Democrats that are now politically nowhere because they're like, that side has gone way too far off the fucking rails. But if you are a Democrat, these people are doing this in the name of the Democrat Party, in the name of fairness. You got the Antifa little punk fucks that are out there doing shit like this. You have people crying because ICE agents are wearing masks to cover their face to protect their identities. But yet then you got Antifa little punk bitches doing shit like this. Now, I'm not saying this attack was Antifa, but all of these groups, that's what they do. You can't cover your face, but I can. Yeah, fuck you, little bitch. Now, also, ICE agents and other law enforcement officers have been doxxed. Now, if you don't know what that term means, that means somebody goes on the internet and posts their address, the name of their spouse, their kids, the schools that their kids go to, directions on how to get to the home, etc., etc. That is a very dangerous fucking thing to do, especially when, obviously, there are people out there willing to shoot law enforcement. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with law enforcement wearing masks to protect their identity. I don't. I want to say, was it New York or Chicago? I think it was Chicago. Pick some fucking libtard shithole. They're trying to push a bill through that would prevent law enforcement from doing that. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, smart. So you just want to put more people in harm's way because you can't control shit, you moron. This is what's happening in our country. Why? Why is this happening? Why? I think it's because kids weren't getting a smack on the ass when they got out of line when they were kids. But, again, what the fuck do I know? There's no goddamn discipline. There's no respect for life. There's no respect for property. There's no respect at all. Oh, but you disrespect them and they go right to violence. People's lives are at risk, and all they're doing is their fucking job. It's fucking insane. This is insane. Oh, but wait, there is more to this. There was a report this past week from Axios. They are, I guess, a news outlet. I've heard of them before. Tim Pool talks about them often, reads their reports often. But I heard about this on Reese on the radio the other day, and on Timcast IRL. And so, again, I did a search on Grok to bring up the story and the information. I'm going to read some of that to you. just to give you a little taste of, I don't know, the vibe, the mental illness, I should say, the mental illness that is out there, all because people are upset that people that don't belong in the country are being sent out of the country because they don't fucking belong here. All right, so I brought up the Axios story here. This was published July 7th, 2025. And the headline, this is the headline, folks. Democrats told to, quote, get shot for the anti-Trump resistance. That's right. Democrat supporters want Democrat officials to get shot, to fight, to resist the king or something. All right, let's see here as I will continue reading. Oh, wait, I'm not subscribing. Bite me. I'm going to go back to the AI one. All right, actually, before I do that, I will read the first paragraph. It says, at town halls in their districts and in one-on-one meetings with constituents and activists, Democrat members of Congress are facing a growing thrum of demands to break the rules, fight dirty, and not be afraid to get hurt. That's right, folks. If there is a Democrat politician out there, your constituents, not all of them, of course, but there is some of them, which is disturbing, wants you to get hurt or shot or kicked or arrested. Yes, because they don't care about you. Just do their fucking bidding. All right, so I went back to the AI here. The Axios report from July 7th, blah, 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 describes some House Democrats claiming their constituents, particularly, oh, this is my favorite, I call these people awfuls, affluent, well-educated white voters. Actually, that's what the write-up says. I call them awfuls. Let's see, AWFL. It's affluent white female liberals, because there's nothing more intolerant of everything in America like an affluent white bitch that knows everything. Karens, essentially. Karens. Let's see. They are pushing for extreme measures, including violence, to oppose President Trump's agenda. According to the report, these constituents have expressed frustration that civility isn't working and suggested lawmakers should be willing to get shot or storm the White House to draw attention to their cause. One anonymous Democrat noted demands for actions like getting arrested or becoming victims of violence, often from economically secure white people. The report highlights a growing anger among some Democrat voters, with sentiments like there needs to be blood to gain media and public attention. What the fuck? And people wonder why there is a growing amount of people out there arming themselves because of bullshit like this. Hell, just recently there was some, I don't remember the guy's name, and I wouldn't say it anyways, started a goddamn forest fire and then hid out in the woods and shot and murdered firefighters. Luckily, he killed himself. I believe that's what happened. Good. Fuck him. Glad he's dead. Piece of shit. But we wonder why they're... I remember hearing, Biden, that fucking pedophile, talking about there's no place for political violence in America. That's one of the few things he ever said that I actually agree with. We can disagree on a lot of things, and that's fine, but there should not be any, screw political violence, just violence in general. Because, what the fuck? What the fuck? There are people on the political left that want their leaders to get shot, to fight against this. Now, I can accept them making phone calls and sending emails and saying you need to resist this. You need to fight against it. You need to push bills to stop. I disagree with them, but I have no problem with them contacting their lawmakers and congressmen and all that shit, imploring them to do that. Fine. Again, like I said, I disagree, but that's okay. But to tell them to go out and get shot, to be violent, to storm the White House, this from the same fucking cunt. God damn, these same people that cried that January 6th was the worst thing that ever happened. Fuck you. You're crying because people stormed the Capitol on January 6th. I'm not saying it was a good fucking thing. It was stupid. I talked about that ad nauseum. I'm not going to beat that dead horse again. It was stupid. And there was only one person that died that day, and they were not law enforcement. It was a fucking veteran by the name of Ashley Babbitt. And the motherfucker that killed her has never been charged. Fuck that guy. But these people are crying. January 6th was the worst thing ever. It was a black eye on America. And then they want people to storm the White House. Yeah, because that would end well. That would definitely make people get shot. That's what happens. But they want that to happen so they can turn around and go, see, he is a tyrant. He's shooting his own people. Because it's a fucking game to these morons. It's a game. It's a game. People dying, it's no big deal to them as long as they don't know them. As I've stated in a previous segment just in this episode, people died in floods, and they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about you. They just care about what they want. And if they don't get it, they're willing to sacrifice people for it. What the fuck is wrong with America? What the fuck is wrong? I don't get it, folks. Me personally, I don't get it. We can all disagree on shit. That's fine. I've had, not arguments, but I've had heated disputes with people that I know over stuff, and we still don't see eye to eye on shit. I don't hate them. I don't want to stab them. I don't want to punch them in the face. I don't want to shoot them, and I'm not going to do any of that. And they don't want to do the same to me. They would like for me to see things the way they do, just like I would like for them to see things the way I do. But that's probably not going to happen. I know I'm not changing my mind, but that's okay. But to want somebody to get shot or even arrested or storm what the fuck is wrong with you people? But yet, again, these same people, the same group of morons, will say that Trump is a fascist and Elon Musk is a Nazi, but yet they act just like the fucking brown shirts in Germany in the fucking 30s and 40s. They're so blind with rage and stupidity, they can't see that. They are the fascists. They can't see it. I understand that they may not like the fact that illegals are being deported. Fine. I disagree with you 100%. But you're entitled to that opinion. Fine. But to implore people get murdered? Or what is wrong with you? If Kamala Harris had won, we know she wouldn't be doing shit about the border. We know this. We know. But I would not be on the socials or on here saying, well, if they're not going to do something about it, then maybe somebody should just go start shooting illegals. I would never say that. And again, if any of my friends said that, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? No. No. Lose my number. You're a piece of shit. Fuck off. Again, we can be upset about things, and that's fine. But then to want to do violence because of it, no, dude. No, your single mom failed you. And that's probably one of the biggest things of these morons. They didn't have a good father around to put a foot in their ass and smack them upside the head. Not hard, But when they heard their kid, when one of these morons said something stupid, there wasn't a man there to go, "What are you doing, stupid? Stop talking like that." To wish harm on people. Go to your room, you fucking idiot. Go mow the lawn or something. Do something with your life, loser. So I think I'll wrap that segment up there. But just be aware, folks. I'm sure, like I said earlier, that I'm sure there's a lot of people that or air quotes, people making comments like that are bots from bot farms in, across Russia or China or whatever, to try to stoke the embers of hate here in America. It wouldn't surprise me. But there are people, genuine people, that are posting stuff like that. Stop it, folks. Stop it. If you are against the immigration, them doing their job, fine. But to want law enforcement to get attacked, shot, stabbed, beaten, murdered, and politicians to be willing to literally throw themselves on the sword for this, you're garbage. I wish that's an insult to garbage. Speaking of which, how you doing, Philadelphia? Yeah, how's that trash situation going? All right. So I'll wrap that segment up right there. On to the next topic for the day. Okay, as I posted on social media, if you do not follow me on socials, you should. Especially after I've had a few, I can be quite funny or obnoxious, depending on my volume. But as the beginning said, you can catch me on X at Eric Not Sorry, or on Truth Social and Facebook. It's Eric Unfiltered Podcast. But I posted there that I was going to do an update regarding diquat. Not diquat, diquat, or diquat, or whatever. I call it diquat. I'm probably wrong. I'm an idiot. Whatever. Because I talked about this, I believe, last week. Rapper, Connecticut's own independent rap artist, Chris Webby, did a video about this. And then I know I already gave credit to Reese on the radio and Mark from West Hartford. Great follows on X, especially, all those guys. They're great. About this highly toxic chemical. And now there's a controversy. There's controversy around it because of its harms to humans and animals alike. So I just did a quick search on Grok, the AI from X, that had some of its own controversy this past week. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I'm not going to get into that maybe next time. But look it up. It was. I have to laugh, even though it's not really funny. But I have to laugh. But anyways, so I did a search on that. I'm going to read. It's kind of lengthy, so I'm going to do my best to get through it pretty quick. So, the controversy surrounding the use of diquat in Connecticut centers on effects to control hydrilla, an invasive aquatic plant threatening the Connecticut River and other waterways. Here's a summary of key developments, blah, blah, blah. Background and plan. The United States Army Corps of Engineers, in collaboration with Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP for short, has been using diquat, a non-selective herbicide, to combat hydrilla, which forms dense mats that harms native species, water quality, and recreation. The plan expanded from 5 sites in 2024, examples Keeney Cove, Chester Boat Basin, to 12 sites in 2025, including Chester Park, Hamburg Cove, and Lake that one, with applications scheduled after July 4th to avoid fish spawning. Public backlash. Environmental concerns erupted, fueled by social media, notably posts by rapper Chris Webby. Shout out to you, Chris, who called diquat and he's not alone, folks, highly toxic chemical, which launched a Change.org petition with over 15,000 signatures by July 2025. Yeah, literally it was like a few days. Yeah, it was like a few days. Critics cite diquat's ban in the EU since 2018. I mentioned that last time. And health risks like organ damage, gut bacteria disruption, and toxicity to wildlife, with some studies suggesting links to Parkinson's disease. Protests occurred at the state capitol, and misinformation claims like unapproved spraying spread online. Officials' response. The EPA clarified in July 11, 2025 that no diquat applications occurred in Connecticut waters in 2025, though prior use, yes, that's right, they did use this stuff in our waterways prior to this year. Examples, 2023 and 2024, was confirmed, and future applications remain possible pending deep permits. The Army Corps of Engineers reduced plans the reduced planned 2025 sites to 3: Selden Cove, Chester Boat Basin, and Palmicha Pond. I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm an idiot, so you know. Due to budget constraints. Well, yeah, budget constraints. It had nothing to do with people going, "What the fuck?" Okay. Officials, including deep and lawmakers like Rep. Renee Lamarck Muir, I may be saying that right, defended diquat as EPA approved. Yes, because they're always top notch, like the FDA, and safe and effective. And the EPA approved and necessary, arguing alternatives like benthic mats or mechanical removal are ineffective and may spread hydrilla. So let's go right to the nuclear option. Got it. Scientific debate. Supporters, including Rivers Alliance of Connecticut, emphasizes diquat safety when used per EPA guidelines. Because, yes, a little bit of poison's good. Citing minimal human and environmental impact. Yes, minimal. So that means it's not zero. Right? Minimal. Anybody out there, have you had cancer? Or do you know somebody that has had cancer? Then all of you are fully aware that when chemotherapy and radiation is used, you're essentially killing the person with cancer and the cancer cells. Yes. But you're poisoning the person, essentially. Right? So that's kind of what they're talking about here. Yeah, it's not good. Again, ask somebody that has had cancer and gone through that, and they'll tell you it was fucking hell. Granted, if they're still alive, they'll say it was worth it because, yeah, obviously, I want cancer patients to survive. But just a little bit of poison is okay, according to these idiots. However, toxicologists like Felix Carvalho, I hope I said your last name right, and if I didn't, my apologies, sir, highlight diquat's broad toxicity to aquatic life and ecosystems, urging careful study before use. A 2025 study noted diquat's potential to damage organs and gut bacteria, raising concerns about its substitution for glyphosate. Ooh, I've heard that word before. Glyphosate. It's a fucking terrible poison. Oh, wait, that's Roundup. That's right, Roundup. We all know Roundup is fucking terrible for the environment, terrible for your health, terrible for animals. It can do, like, pretty bad, harmful shit to you. I think in that last episode I talked about how Roundup had an issue, due to a lawsuit that they lost, they now have to put the verbiage on their bottles or what have you that if you get any on your clothes, to immediately take it off, and if you get any on your skin, to wash for 15 minutes. And I know I stated in the previous episode that, yeah, I probably have cancer now because I never fucking did that. I mean, like I said in the past episode, I would when I was done spraying what I had to spray. But no, apparently if you immediately get that shit on you, you should be washing for 15 minutes to get it off your skin so your body does not absorb it. But yes, safe and effective, right? EPA, yeah, no problem. I don't fucking trust any of these goddamn government things, especially after the bullshit with COVID. Nah, fuck you. I don't believe any of you. I don't. Sorry, I guess I'm just a skeptic. Can't blame me, can you? But yes, It's safe and effective if it's used by the EPA guidelines. It's glyphosate. Let me look up glyphosate. Let me see what other information I can get just on that chemical. Okay, so I just did a quick search on glyphosate. Just glyphosate. This is not diquat. This is just glyphosate. Usage. Applied in farming, forestry, and residential settings, over 1.6 billion kilograms used globally from 1994 to 2014. And people are curious why cases of cancer have gone up. Because they would spray our food with this shit. Interesting. Effectiveness. Non-selective kills most plants, but safe for animals and humans in low doses due to the absence of a targeted enzyme. Really? Again, safe and effective. Yeah, safe and effective. No, it's not. In 2015, it was labeled as probably carcinogenic. Yes. Yeah, probably carcinogenic. That means it causes cancer. And they were spraying it all over our food. Corn, beans, peas, tomatoes, peppers. I'm so glad I don't like salad because I probably would have consumed a whole lot of this crap. Oh, but we washed it off. Yeah, okay, sure. That's why food's constantly getting recalled for, bacteria and shit. Yeah, okay. Get out of here with this crap. And I'm sure diquat is not much fucking better, folks. But you have certain people saying there's misinformation. Really? Have a glass of water after some of that has been added. There actually is another town in Connecticut that instead of using diquat, they use fluoride. Yes, because we have fluoride in our water. Why? I don't fucking know. But there has been states banning that because drinking fluoride is not exactly healthy either. That's why so many people prefer bottled water over tap water because, or even their well water. If you don't have a good filtration system, I personally don't want to trust it. I don't exactly trust bottled water either, but I trust it over the crap that comes out of my tap. Because I don't know where you live in Connecticut, but my tap water smells like pool water. It smells like chlorine. It's gross. It's fucking gross. But yes, they want to use chemicals similar to glyphosate, a known carcinogenic, in our waterways because of an invasive plant species. Now, I'm not saying the hydrilla needs to stay. Absolutely not. But there are alternative ways of getting rid of it. They just don't want to look into these alternatives. It's either not cost effective or it's just harder to do, maybe. I don't know. Or somebody has a contract with somebody. Somebody is scratching somebody else's back. I'm speculating here, but it has to do with politics, and we know politics is fucking dirty as shit. And there's always somebody scratching somebody's back and greasing someone's palm. So it would not surprise me if we were to find out one day that the reason why they want to push the use of this diquat nonsense in our waterways to get rid of this invasive plant species is because someone's cousin knew somebody that was going to be filling their pockets with a whole lot of tax money. But that's just me speculating. What the fuck do I know? All I know is I don't want to go swimming or fishing in any of those lakes, streams, ponds, or anything. Nope. I think I will just stay home and drink my chlorinated tap water. And so I shall wrap up that segment there. I do want to touch back on a story I spoke on a little while ago regarding the violence against ICE raids and ICE officials, because just yesterday, it would be July 11th. I take that back. July 10th, I believe this happened. There was an ICE raid at a marijuana grow patch marijuana grow in I believe it's California. Yes, in California. And I don't care what your opinion is on marijuana. I personally like it, although I have not partook in a while. I have no problem with it in small doses. If you sit around doing it all day, dude, get a job. But but you don't have to like it, and that's fine. However, there was a grow at a farm, and ICE raided it, and there were, well, a lot of people running because, Gavin Newsom and all those other people in California love border jumpers. And there was young children there. Yes, young children that were either working there or they were with their parents. I don't know, and I don't care. Why the fuck are young kids there? But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because as the ICE agents approached and people started scurrying, there was a protester, or possibly a worker, I don't know, because there are rumors on social media going around and around that this grow op probably or possibly was tied to Mexican cartels. I don't know if it's accurate and real. I don't know. That's just the rumors I have read and I have heard. Again, I don't have anything concrete. I don't think anybody does. But somebody there started shooting at ICE agents. Just indiscriminately just starts shooting. There's a video online. I shared it the other day. And you just see them. He's running away. Of course, he's wearing a mask because, it's okay for them. And he looks like he's having an issue with his handgun. He fires a couple of rounds and then tucks behind a car. So he's probably using a high point. If you know, you know. But yes, that's what these people are doing, folks. Agents are doing their jobs and people are shooting at them. The fuck? God damn it. What is going on? All right, I think I want to bring, since I have been yammering on for almost an hour now, and a few of these subjects were probably blood-boiling inducing for some of you. Hopefully it was. Not intentional. I'm just bringing you some of the news I saw and my opinions. I want to close out with something a little on the happier side, a more positive side. So let me find this individual and I will speak about him. If you have an X account, do me a favor. Go and look up at that dude Reed _ So ThatDudeReed _ His name is Reed, and next to his name it's got a blue heart. Look him up. He is inspiring, truly. He came across my feed at random, and I don't even think he had a few hundred followers when I started following him. He has almost 11,000 followers now. I wish I had 11,000 followers, but okay. But the reason why he is inspiring, in his bio, it says start 567.2, current 512.4, total down 54.8. The reason why he is inspiring is those numbers are his weight. He's a rather big guy. I don't know how tall he is. And I am sure he has had health issues. I am only guessing. But Reed took it upon himself, and I'm sure maybe with support of others. I know he's got plenty of support now, at least on social media, that he wanted to do something different with his life. He didn't want to be big anymore. He didn't want to live and deal with what he was dealing with every day. And so he got after it. Good on you, Reed. Fuck yeah, dude. He has shown videos of himself walking, lifting weights. Hell, punching I don't know what they're called. One of those boxing things that's on a stand. Not the hanging little bag thing, not the speed bag. But you know what I mean? It's the stand with the padded, thing. You're punching basically a torso. And I'm like, fucking hey, dude, he's sitting down, but he's still swinging. He is burning calories. He's getting after it. Hell yeah, that's good on you, Reed. And I've seen on X a bunch of individuals like this. But I wanted to highlight him. I want you to go and follow Reed and give him some words of encouragement and tell him, hell yeah, dude, good on you. Get after it. Because it's fucking inspiring. It goes against the body positivity bullshit. Be fat and die at 30 because big is beautiful. No. Reed's getting after it. He's got, a long road ahead, obviously. But the dude's down almost 55 pounds, at least, in his bio. Maybe he's down past it at the time I'm recording this. But go give him a follow. Go give him a shout out. Say, I heard you on Eric Unfiltered, and he told me to come say, what's up, dude? And good on you. Hey, maybe I'm gonna see if I can message him and find out, like, hey, dude, like, what's your diet? Like, what are you eating? Because, I eat chicken and rice. That's helping me lose weight, but chicken gets a little boring after a while. It's like, like, how do you cook it? What do you do? What kind of things? Because I doubt he's just sitting gorging on salads, because you got to have protein to get up and be active, right? Or supplements, maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to reach out and go, yo, what do you do for food and stuff and whatnot? But he's getting up and he's getting after it. Like I said, I've seen other people post videos about how, they literally would walk 50 feet to their mailbox and need to take a break because they were just winded. And then one day they also decided, that's it, I'm done living like this. And they started walking around their house. They just would go back and forth from the front door to the mailbox, and then they'd do it again the next day, and do it again the next day, and then eventually they walked to the corner, and then they walked back before they retired. But they did it. They kept with it. They stuck to it. And I know it's fucking hard. I've had my own weight issues. I've never been as big as my man Reed here, but I have been big, and I've been losing. Because I've also been walking and doing, some push-ups and shit like that. But the biggest thing is eating right and sticking to it. So good on you, Reed. Go give Reed a follow. Please go follow him and give him words of encouragement, because we need more dudes like that. We need more people like that are willing to take responsibility and take the reins of their health and get fucking after it. So good on you, Reed, and I think I'm going to close the episode out on that positive note. So thank you for tuning in and listening to me rant and rave for over an hour. I appreciate all of you, and a special shout-out today to you in Columbus who keeps tuning in. I know I've got a bunch of locals here that tune in Connecticut, and thank you to everybody, honestly, that tunes in. But I've been noticing you, Columbus, Ohio. I see a few of you downloading and listening to me, so thank you. Keep tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, please keep being you. Oh, I am sorry. That was not the end of the episode. I thought it was. There was a story I forgot to talk about. My bad. Just this past week, we found out that there's apparently no videos or evidence that anything happened with the Epstein files, that there is no Epstein files, there is no Epstein list, and apparently Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for solicitation of prostitution to nobody. That's right. That one of the big things that many of us voted for Trump for, one of the things that he spoke about, and hell, even Pam Bondi talked about having the Epstein list. And now we are being told that there isn't one. Bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. I believe that there are too many high-profile, big names, big bankers, politicians, princes, kings, or what have you on that list. And too many people have been threatened or blackmailed. But that's just my opinion. My opinion alone. Not alone. I know there's a lot of you out there that feel the same fucking way. Hell, what's his title? Dan Bongino, what's he, assistant FBI director, something like that? I'm sorry. Sorry, Dan, I don't remember your title. There are rumors swirling now that Dan may step down from his position over this because when he was on his own podcast, his own radio show, he was beating the Epstein files drum hard and often, saying he wants to know names. I don't give a damn who's on that list. Republican, Democrat, king, queen, prince. It doesn't matter. We want to know the names. And now apparently there aren't any. There's no names. Jeffrey Epstein apparently was arrested for no reason. And Ghislaine Maxwell is doing time for apparently solicitation to nobody. Yes, I call big bullshit. I think this is a big conspiracy. I think people were threatened or blackmailed, and I think it's fucking bullshit. It's kind of like the JFK files. We'll never really know. We will never officially know that the CIA did it. We know the CIA did it, but we will never officially know the CIA did it. Sorry. Or the FBI, or it was a lone gunman. Sorry, my bad. Lone gunman. That's right. We will never officially know because that's just what happens. We get fucked over on the information. We, the people, deserve better. All right, so now that's the official end. I will wrap it up right there. Thank you for continuing to listen as I closed out, but I'll close out again. Thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends if you like this episode. Give me a follow on socials, and until next time, keep being you.